Hey everybody, running a quick audit for natural herb Oriental. So how we run these audits is this is my first time looking at the site. I am trying to treat myself like a new user. I'm also going to be running the site through a few different tools to see if there's anything glaring that needs to be addressed or optimized on the site as well. So first thing that we will do is I'm going to take the site and we're going to run it through this fancy tool right here. This is just going to do a technical crawl of the website. It's going to do a technical crawl of the website so we can see if there's anything we need to discuss. So while that is running, let's take a look at the main site here. So first, hitting the home page, everything looks relatively fine. Site wasn't too slow to open up, at least on the first entry there. I think right now what I'm doing. So I'm first coming to the site. I see discover the healing power of traditional Chinese herbal medicine with the Oriental natural herbs. I think the first thing that we probably want to do is we probably just want to tighten up this wording right off the bat because when I first enter the site, I am immediately unsure of what exactly it is. I mean, the brand name is pretty obvious, but then I see this and it's like, okay, are we looking at potentially healthy snacks? I know that's not what this is, but to some users, it might look like that. Look at different services, disease prevention, testimonials, about us, contact, appointment, and then we have product. So the menu is a little bit confusing. So when we look at services, okay, let's go to disease prevention. A little slow to load. Let's see if it loads. So that page, it could be a me thing. It might be something that you want to double check. That page is not loading. So let's click on services. So that one did load. Okay, so going into the various services and the different issues that you treat. I think it's fine. I don't really have a suggestion for this. I think a lot of these blend together. Overall, I think it's fine. But there might be ways that we can look at potentially optimizing. All right, and then we immediately go into a potential appointment, or we have product that did load. The site is a little bit slow to load. I think typically, especially on desktop, which is what I'm on, when it's pretty slow to load, that's not necessarily a good sign for mobile. So definitely want to take a look at why it's loading so slow, what's going on. All right, so we see a lot of pricing, or a lot of product, a lot of herbs. Now, this might be my ignorance as to, maybe how some of these things might potentially be regulated. But logging in to see the price, I think ideally we would want to just be able to see the price. And if there's a specific reason why you want users to log in, then, I'm definitely open to being wrong about that. But I do think that we probably want people to just be able to see the price of what's going on, unless the goal is to have some sort of consultation first. The other thing here is, all right, so we're on the product page and I see these products and they're cycling through, but as you saw earlier, I was trying to click on one and I couldn't. I would definitely recommend listing out all of the products that you have, unless with the login you do get a more comprehensive view of each product, then yeah, that makes sense. I think the other thing is we could see up here, this part of the site it almost looks like it's not done. So we have a different logo, which says the herbal nature. We also, the cart button's kind of hard to find. And then we have this like little line of code that looks like it's not supposed to be there. It just says header buttons. Look at the shop. I imagine this is where, yeah, there we go. There's a more comprehensive list. It was not easy, did not see it right away. So I guess the biggest question is this the same company? Is this like a referral company? Because it is a different website, different logo and everything. Might create some confusion if you're trying to get users in to buy these products right away. If you're not wanting to get users in to buy these products right away, I think that's another conversation. If the goal is to immediately have these users set up an appointment and then buy the product, then I think that needs to be a little more apparent, because we see the appointment down here in the hero image, but a lot of times people are looking up in the main menu first, and the most glaring thing is product. And so they're going to immediately go to product, which is taking them to a different site. So users want to be told what to do. And right now, it's kind of a split decision on where exactly I should go. Should I set up an appointment, or should I immediately go look at products if I've done my own research or anything like that? Okay, that's kind of some of the main highlights that I see on the website. We'll now focus on some more SEO technical things. All right, so there's a decent amount of 404 errors, web pages that do not exist. Want to fix these. We see a lot of, we typically want to see images around that 100 kilobyte range. I was about to say a lot of big images, but really they aren't terrible. If we can get them lower, then we probably should. We see these items with the H1, H2, things like that. These are things to pay attention to. This is how Google's going to read your website. So it's really important to have these structured the correct way, the headings and the subheadings and things like that. Structure them based off of the HTML code, not necessarily just how they look. We can always manipulate how they look, but the code and how it's coded within the website is really important for how Google's going to be able to read your website. All right, let's look at some of the keywords over time. Domain overview here. All right, so looks like just started to rank for a few keywords over the last year or so. None of the keywords are within kind of striking range for getting users organically. So, definitely obviously we want to get these up in the kind of the top 3 areas. The only thing that's really going to depend, so this is looking at things from a national range. So how, on average, anywhere in the country, how's your site performing keyword wise? Do you serve, I do see an address up here in New Jersey. Do you serve all areas of the country? If you create an appointment, is it telehealth, or do you need to be specifically within that area to have a relationship with your company as well as buy the products? So if the answer is you can go anywhere, then this is much more important. If the answer is no, we only serve our general area, then there's other things that we can look at to see exactly how you're ranking there. But assuming that you can go national, there's definitely area of improvement there. I think overall, this is important too. Typically, most users are going to be able to want to be able to click the logo up here, take them back to the home page, even though it says home there. It's things like, it does say home there, yes, so it should be obvious, but just how we're trying to meet the user's expectations on the website. And most websites, the logo immediately clicks back to home if they want to navigate there. So keeping that stuff like that in mind. I think overall, the site, definitely the color of it and kind of the vibe that's going on the site is really good. Kind of makes you feel good, gives you that kind of healthy feeling, and kind of excitement for the services that a user is reaching out to you for. That being said, there does seem like there might be some confusion on how to navigate your site, what they should do first, buy product, make an appointment, all things that can be easily fixed with some subtle tweaks. And then there's the technical issues that we did showcase that just by fixing those, your site's going to be read better. And then with a little bit of extra keyword strategy and content creation, I think this site could be in a really good spot. Before I finish this out with the content creation, this is a prime opportunity to create a blog and have some sort of content creation that is establishing you as an authority in this space. There's a lot of people that, the searches around alternative medicines and things like that are the highest they've ever been. And we need to be taking advantage of that here. Users are going to be, they're doing a lot more of their own research nowadays than ever before. And so we want to make sure that when they are doing their own research, that Natural Herb Oriental is showing up and providing that information that they're searching for, because when they do come to the conclusion that, yes, maybe this is something they want to try, you want to be top of mind for them because you gave them the answers that they were looking for. Anyway, that is the audit.